Vedanta Swami Tinamini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini. Nirushesha Shunyavadi Pasatya Desatadini. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Gadadara Svasadi Gaurabhaktarinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Satma Bandhamoy Sabadana Mate Jahara Pasade Bai Ebava Toriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoye Jaha Hote Krishna Prapti Hoye Jaha Hote. Prabhupada ki jai.
Yaduraj Bro, we can hear echo of your sound, bro. Can you hear? You're still singing.
Okay, bro, I can hear you. Okay, maybe the fan, I'll make it less speak, Prabhu. Okay.
No, not the fan. When you're singing or you're speaking, we are hearing after a few seconds later.
Oh, echo,
Okay, try to speak now, bro.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, okay, now it's better, bro. Yeah, now it's okay.
Now can I speak?
Yeah, can. Thanks.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. I'd like to welcome all the devotees to this Zoom class. And today we'll be seeing a very unique topic. Okay, so it's very, very important, and all of us going to experience this moment, which is called death. Okay, title of my presentation today is The Journey of the Soul After Death from Garuda Purana, okay, part 1. And today I'll be speaking on day 1, and I'm going to have 3 days class, and today I'll be speaking on day 1 material. Okay, a little bit of my background. So my name is Yaduraj Krishna, and I was born in 1967 in Taiping, Perak. And now I'm 54 years old. And 1993, I graduated from USM. And I worked in private companies for last 25 years. And I retired from my working life in 2018. And now I'm dedicating my life in preaching, in serving the community. Okay. And I accepted Harinam Diksha from my spiritual master in year 2000 and Brahmin initiation in 2019. And I've been the chairman for ISKCON Taiping since 1997. And also for the last 20 years, I've been the teacher, religious teacher for Hindu inmates in Taiping prison. In 2019, I completed Bhakti Sastri in Mayapur, India, and also currently pursuing a Bhakti Vaibhava course. And for many years, I have conducted many motivation, spiritual upliftment programs, especially Tamil schools, NGO temples, ISKCON temples, and etc. Okay, so this is roughly my background. Okay, just a little background on what I'm going to speak for the next 3 days. Last week, I spoke the same material in Tamil for 3 days, 29th, 30th, and 1st July. And today I'll be speaking in English. And today the first day, and tomorrow will be the second day, and the following day will be, on the 8th, it will be third day. So I hope all the devotees can join for the 3 days course. And each day we're going to start at 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Okay. First of all, many will be wondering why I want to share this topic, a special topic, Journey of the Soul After Death. So for many years, we have been conducting special prayers for those departed soul, especially on Karmadi, on a Shraddha occasion. So people used to invite us to do prayers. And many times the children's, the kins, they'll be asking us, what will happen to my mother's soul, my father's soul, what I'm supposed to do, and so many questions. So for the benefit to answer all these questions, what I did, I started to read Garuda Purana, because I know in Garuda Purana there are in-depth informations about journey of the soul after death. So there are in-depth informations, and also the Srimad Bhagavatam, third and fifth canto. So I started studying that, so that I'll be able to answer all these questions. So then I thought, why don't I make because I realized there are many people, especially Indians, are very much ignorant of these facts. Even if they have some information, if it will be a kind of a speculative information, it won't be from scripture. So for that reason, I decided to compile all these relevant informations into a PowerPoint presentation. So for the last many years, I've been sharing this information in many places in Malaysia. So today I got the opportunity to share with all of you this presentation. Okay. Okay. There are a few objectives I want. Before we start our journey, I like to all the devotees to be clear of the objective of my presentation today. So first objective is that, can somebody please unmute and read for me, please? The first objective, can somebody read for me, please?
Understand the life after death and the experience as described in authorized scriptures, Garuda Purana, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu. So this is the first objective I would like all the devotees to have, to understand that the life after death, there is a life after death, okay? There's no something as that everything finish at the time of death and then you can rest in peace. There's no such things. So all these are speculative understanding. So there is a life after death, as mentioned in Garuda Purana, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and etc. Hey, can somebody please read these for me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Please read, Mataji.
Understand that we are actually a spiritual soul in this temporary material body.
Thank you very much. Okay, this is the second objective I like all the devotees to have, that we must understand that we are a spiritual soul. Okay, we are not this body. We are spiritual soul, and we are in this temporary material body. What we can see is just a temporary material body. Okay, we are a spiritual soul. So this is the second objective I like all the devotees to have. So third objective, can somebody read for me?
Understand that there is a supreme being, God, who manages the administration of the whole creation, helped by his agent, the Devata.
Yeah, so thank you very much. So the third thing we have to understand, there is a God. Okay, there's a supreme being. So there are so many religion calls God with so many names, doesn't matter. It refers to one supreme God, okay, who manages the whole administration of the whole creation and held by the different agents, which we call angels, we call devatas, and so many names. So this thing we have to understand, okay? The fourth objective, can somebody please read for me?
Understand that there is law of governing our life.
Okay, this is the fourth thing all of you must understand. There is a law. Law of karma. Okay, none of us are independent in this material world. We are governed by the law. which is called law of karma. Okay. Okay, takeaway points. At the end of this presentation, there are a few takeaway points. Okay, when you go back home, you have to understand this. My whole presentations, okay, leads to these few takeaway points. I want to have all the devotees to understand these takeaway points. Can somebody please read for me?
Every living entity is governed by the law of nature.
Okay, all of us. Okay, we can't escape. We can't live independently. There is a law which govern our life. Okay, can somebody read for me the second takeaway points?
Every souls are just a traveler in this journey of life within the creation of Almighty.
Okay, we are just traveling. Okay, we are just traveling. We are traveler in this life for so many births. Okay, so many lives. We are traveling. Okay, we are eternal soul. So we are traveling. This life is not permanent. It's temporary. So we have to understand that we are all just a traveler in this life. Okay. And third one, can somebody please read for me?
Life wisely within the law of Almighty.
Okay, so all of us, we have to live wisely. At the end of the day, after you understood all these points, okay, at the end of the day, we must understand that we have to live wisely, please, because God has given us intelligence. So we have to live intelligently, wisely, within the law of God. Okay, these are the points I want you, at the end of the presentation, I want you to take back with you. Okay, please remember these points. Okay. Okay, my presentation, okay, for the next today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. Okay, why I got all this information. So these are my sources of my information for this presentation. First of all, I got the information from Garuda Purana summary by His Grace Purna Pragya Das. Okay, his proper disciple. He has written a summary of from Sanskrit to English. Okay, so there's one Garuda Purana. So I got some information from his books. Second, from Garuda Purana Sarudara by Navani Dirama, is son of a famous Sri Hari Narayana. Okay, so I got a lot of information from his book. Third, I got a lot of information from Srimad Bhagavatam by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, especially from third canto and the fifth canto. Okay, there's a lot of information. So I got from there. And the fourth I took from Bhagavad Gita is released by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON. So I took a lot of things also from Bhagavad Gita. And also I got some information from ISKCON Desire 3, ISKCON Chaupati India webpage. So there's also a few information I got from their webpage. So these are the source of my information, which I took and I prepared this PowerPoint for your benefit. Okay, first of all, Garuda Purana 30 years ago became very famous. 30 years ago, Garuda Purana became very famous all over the world because of this one movie, Onion. Okay, I'm sure many people who are as my age familiar with this movie. 30 years ago, this movie Onion, it became very famous. Because in this movie, the hero Vikram, he will kill all those, he'll punish all the wrongdoers. So before he punish them, he will say that for your offense, for this offense, you're going to get this punishment. It is written in Garuda Purana. So Garuda Purana mentioned for this offense, and these are the punishments. So he will tell that before he will kill them. So because of the Garuda Purana become famous all over the world because of this movie. So once a devotee was selling Bhagavad Gita. So selling Bhagavad Gita, all of a sudden the person asked, do you have Garuda Purana? So the devotee asked him, why are you asking for Garuda Purana? And the lady said, because yesterday I watched Onion movie. In that movie, he mentioned about Garuda Purana. So I want to read Garuda Purana. So Garuda Purana became very famous all over the world because of that movie, Onion. Okay. But actually, what is Garuda Purana? Garuda Purana is actually a conversation between Lord Krishna and Garuda. Okay. Garuda will be asking many questions, and Lord Krishna will answer those questions by Garuda. And that became Garuda Purana. So this Garuda Purana is one of the 18 Puranas written by Srila Vyasadeva 5,000 years ago. Srila Vyasadeva compiled all the Vedic literatures. He compiled Upanishads, he compiled Puranas, he compiled 4 Vedas, Mahabharata, so many things he compiled. And he compiled the 18 Puranas. And the 18 Puranas, he divided to 6 in the category of Sattvic Purana, and 6 in the category of Rajasic Purana, and 6 in the category of Tamasic Purana. And total of all the 18 Purana, the verses are 400,000 verses. And within the Sattvic Purana, the top 3 is Srimad Bhagavatam, which consists of 18,000 verses. Second is Vishnu Purana, which consists of 23,000 verses. And third is Garuda Purana, which consists 19,000 verses. So Garuda Purana also one of the most important Puranas within the 18 Puranas. Okay, so it is in the Sattvic Purana. So whatever I'm going to tell you today in my presentation is very, very important, because all the information was spoken by the Lord himself. Okay, Lord Krishna himself spoke all these, what I'm going to share with you for the next 1 hour. Okay, let us see what are the contents of Garuda Purana. So in Garuda Purana, there are topic of death. Lord Krishna talks about death. He talks about afterlife. He talks about scenes, life in hell. He also speaks about location of hell, where within our universe where hell is situated. He also speaks about Yamaraj and his famous assistant Chitragupta. And he speaks about the city of Yama. And also he speaks about different kind of punishment given out in the hell. And he also speaks how to avoid all the sins while living on earth. So this is very important for us. Okay, how to avoid sin while living on earth. He speaks about expiation of sins, atonement. Okay, how to atone for all the sins we committed. And he speaks about funeral rites upon death. Okay, and what the consequences if you don't perform the funerals, the ceremonies. And finally, Lord Krishna himself spoke about how to attain mukti, how to attain moksha. So this is a very important topic. Krishna spoke to Garuda at the end of this Garuda Purana. Okay, how to attain mukti. So this is very important for all of us. Whatever I'm going to speak to you, by the end of the day, that is a solution. So this solution I'm going to share with you on the 3rd day. That is on a Thursday. So please, I request all the devotees to be with me for the next 3 days, especially on the 3rd day, because on the 3rd day, I'm going to speak to you about the solution for all these where the soul is going to go through, how to avoid all these. Krishna himself speaks in Garuda Purana at the last chapter. Okay, that is how to attain moksha. Okay, once life asks death. Life asks death, mrityu. Life asks, why people love me and hate you? So life asks death. And for that question, death answered, because you are beautiful lie and I'm a painful truth. Because you are beautiful lie and I'm a painful truth. So that is the fact, okay? That is a fact. All of us going to go through that, okay? We can't avoid that. But it's very painful, but it's truth. We all have to go through that, okay? Okay, 1961, Russian sent the first man to walk on space. His name was Yuri Gagarin. On 12th April 1961, he walked on space. And he sarcastically said that I see no God up here. He said, I see no God appear. Okay. For that, one person answered, you will when your oxygen tank runs out. Okay, he said that. You will see God when the oxygen tanks runs out, means at the time of death, you will see God. That was the answer. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, text 32, Krishna says, Kalaspi lokasaya kippa pravado. Krishna said, time I am the great destroyer of the world. Krishna said, I am time. I will destroy everything. At the time of death, I will destroy everything. Everything Krishna will destroy. He said, I am time. Krishna said this in Bhagavad Gita. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, devotees understand me by devotional service. Bhakti mam abhijanati. Krishna said, devotee will understand me by bhakti. By performing bhakti, they can understand me. But for those non-devotees, non-believers who don't believe me, I will come. They will see me. You know when they will see me at the time of death, Krishna says, I will come. Then they can see me at the time of death. I will come as Yamaraj. I'll come as a death and take away everything. And that time they can see me, they can understand me. Krishna said. So it's very important for us to understand that Bhakti Mam Abhijanati. Krishna says only through devotional service, bhakti, one can understand me. And for those non-believers who don't understand me, who don't accept me, I will come. At the time of death, I will come. Krishna said that. Okay, there's a question. Please unmute and give me the answer. What is death? Can anyone please unmute and answer my question? What is death?
The soul will come out of our body.
Yeah, soul come up from the body. Okay, thank you. What are other answers? Anyone else?
No breath.
No breath. Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
The death is when the soul moves from it transports from the body to the next body.
Body from the next body. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, any other answers?
No consciousness, Prabhu.
No consciousness. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Any more?
I will see my Krishna.
What is that?
I will see my Krishna.
I'll see my Krishna. Okay, that is a very, very optimistic, very, very positive answer. Thank you very much. Okay, let us see.
Going back.
Okay, that is actually when subtle body and soul leave the gross body. That is death. Okay, we must understand. So that means the soul as well as the subtle body will leave the. That is okay. Prabhu can unmute. Can mute them, Prabhu. Okay. Okay, that means when subtle body and soul leaves the gross body. Okay. Okay. Everyone knows Steve Jobs. Okay, very famous person. Okay, everyone knows Steve Jobs, who changed the world. Okay, who gave us so many gadgets to comfort our life. He gave so many gadgets to comfort our life. He revolutionized our life. Okay, but Steve Jobs died at the age of 56. Okay, 2011 he died of cancer. And this is what he said before he died. Can somebody please read for me, please?
No one wants to die. Even people who want to go heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it, and that is how it should be. Because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new.
Okay, thank you very much. This is what Steve Jobs wrote before he died. Okay, and he himself believed a reincarnation. There is a life after death. He also believed that. Okay. Can somebody read for me? one paragraph. Each person can read one paragraph. Somebody can read the first paragraph.
I have come to pinnacle of success in business. In the eyes of others, my life has been the symbol of success. However, apart from my work, I have little joy. Finally, my wealth is simply a fact to which I am accustomed.
Okay, Mata, you can continue reading all.
Okay. At this time, lying on hospital bed and remembering all my life, I realized that all my accolades and riches of which I was once so proud have become insignificant with my imminent death. In the dark, when I look at green lights of the equipment for artificial respiration and feel the buzz of mechanical sound, I can feel the breath of my approaching death looming over me. Now, only now do I understand that once you have accumulated enough money for the rest of your life, you have to pursue objectives that are not related to your wealth. Steve Jobs. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna.
For the world, Steve Jobs died as a legend. But for Steve Jobs himself, he died a very much a regretting man, regretting for not pursuing the actual goal of life. He regretted that. Okay. So all of us must understand that. Okay. There is a purpose in our life. Okay. Don't wait until death to realize that. That's why it is mentioned Steve Jobs and a beggar have same amount of money and wealth at the time of death. Why? Because both of them have zero money and zero wealth at the time of death. Nothing comes with us. Okay, nothing comes with us. Okay, let us see what Lord Krishna says in chapter 2, text 13, a very famous verse. Dehinosmi yada dehe, kaumaram yamanam jara, tata dehantara prapti, dira satarnamu yate. Can somebody please read the translation for me?
Dehinosmin yate
Read the translation. As the embodied soul.
The embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age. The soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change.
Thank you very much. Okay, so this is what Lord himself says in Bhagavad Gita. So the Lord says then, the body changes, but the soul, the spirit soul remain the same. At the time of death, the soul leaves the old body and enters a new body. And very important point Krishna speaks here is the last sentence. Dhira satanamo yate. This is very, very important because Krishna says, Dhira satanamo yate. Krishna says, self-realized soul. He is not bewildered by looking at that. So this is very important. Okay, the learned person, the self-realized person who have the knowledge of the scripture, he will understand death is only the soul leaves the old body and enters a new body. Because the soul is eternal. So Krishna said, Dira Tatana Moyate. So please, we have to understand this point very, very well. Okay. Okay, let us see the structure of our body. First of all, what we can see is it is called gross body. Okay, what we can see, this is called gross body. And the gross body is made of earth, water, fire, and ether. These are the 5 elements which make up this gross body. And inside the gross body, we have another body which is called the subtle body. And the subtle body is made of mind, intelligence, and false ego. We can't see subtle body. We can't see mind. We can't see the intelligence. We can't see false ego. That is why we can't see subtle body. But the subtle body is inside the gross body. and the soul. Soul, we are the soul. And the soul is located inside the gross body and inside the subtle body. We are the soul. We are the spirit soul. The soul is made of Satchit and Ananda. Sat means eternity, Chit means knowledge, and Ananda means bliss. Okay, the soul is made of Satchit Ananda, okay, made of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Okay, so we are spirit soul. We are not gross body. We are not the subtle body. So this fact we have to understand. Okay, let us see what is the nature of the soul. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 20, Krishna said, Na jayate mriyate vakadachidaya bhutva bhavita vanambuya. Ajonityo saswato yaprano na hanyate anyamani sarire. Can somebody please the translation for me, please?
For
For
the
the
soul,
soul,
There is never birth nor death, nor having once been, does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain.
Yeah, this is the nature of the soul. We are the soul. This is our nature. So Shri Krishna said that soul, there's no birth for the soul. So we can't say that, Prabhu, my soul was born in 1960, Prabhu. We can't say that. We cannot say my soul died in 2020, Prabhu. We cannot say that. Because the soul is eternal. There is neither birth nor death. Krishna said that. Krishna said once he has existed, he will continue to exist. Is the eternal, unborn, ever existing, Krishna said, undying. The soul will never get sick and primeval. And Krishna is not slain when the body is slain. Nahanyati anyamani sarire. Krishna said that. You can cut out, you can chop the body, but you can't chop, you can cut the soul. Krishna said that. Nahanyati anyamani sarire. It's not slain when the body is slain. So we must understand this is our nature. Okay, the nature of the soul. Okay, next thing, let us see the size of the soul. How big is the soul? In Shveta Avatar Upanishad, it is mentioned, when the upper point of a hand is divided into 100 parts, and again each of such parts is further divided into 100 parts, each such part is the measurement of the dimension of the spirit soul. Can you imagine the hair itself is so tiny, and what to talk about the tip of the hair? And you take the tip of the hair, you divide to 10,000 parts. 100 times 100 is 10,000. So you divide the tip of the hair to 10,000 parts. One of the 10,000 is the size of the soul. So it's very small. That is why we can't see the soul with the material eyes. We can't see. It's so small, so tiny. Okay, we can't see that with this material eyes. So this is the size of the soul mentioned in Shveta Avatar Upanishad. Okay, the soul of the human soul is the same size. The soul of the mosquito is the same size. The soul of a whale is the same size. The soul of an elephant is the same size. All 1/10,000, the tip of the hair is same size. Okay, so we have to understand that. Soul is same for all the living entities. Only the gross body differs. Okay, next, let us see where the soul is located. Okay, as Mundaka Upanishad mentioned, the soul is located at the end part of the heart. Our heart, the lower part of our heart. That's where the soul is located. Soul floats as a tiny light on a 5 types of air, which is called Prana, Apana, Jnana, Samana, Udana. There are 5 types of air. The soul is floating on these 5 types of air, a small tiny light located at the bottom part of our heart. So this is where the soul is located according to Mundaka Upanishad. Okay, in Garuda Purana, it is mentioned that when we take birth in this world, there are 5 things, 5 features comes together. 5 things have already been determined when we take birth in this material. First thing is that our lifespan. Our lifespan is already been determined at the time of birth according to our previous karma. Lifespan. Okay, are we going to live for 100 years or 50 years or 10 years or 10 months, 1 month, 1 week, 1 hour or 1 second? Okay, it all depends on our previous karma. So when we take birth in this world, our lifespan is already been determined. Second thing has been determined is that our activities, how much happiness, how much distress we're going to have in this life. So that is why it is mentioned that if you go through some distress or difficulties in your life, don't put the blame on anyone else. This is because your previous karma. You have written this life in your previous life. You have written the story of this life in your previous life. And this life, we are writing the story of us in the next life. We are writing. Now we are writing for the next life. So we have to understand that whatever happiness and distress we are going through because of previous life karma. Okay. This is the second thing determined at the time of birth. Third thing determined is our education. How much education we going to derive? Are we going to go through to the level of degree or master or PhD? It's already been determined based on our previous karma. But that doesn't mean that children, we don't have to study. Okay? We have to study, but according to our faith, our karma, if we only can go to degree, that's all we can go. If we can only go to master or PhD, that's all we can do according to our previous karma. So third thing determined at time of birth is our education. Fourth thing is our character. Character has been determined based on a previous karma. That is why in a family, if there is 5 children born in a family, they were born with the same parents. All 5 not necessarily have the same character. Okay, all 5 will have a different character. You can see. Why? Because each one carries their previous karma. That will determine the type of character they have in this life. So this is the 4th thing determined at the time of birth. And the last thing is the circumstances of death, the time and circumstances of death. How are you going to die in this life? Are you going to die by old age? Are you going to die by coronavirus? Are you going to die by falling from the big high building of snake? But whatever is already been determined based on previous karma. So these 5 things are to be determined at the time of birth. And we can't change these 5 things. But only one thing can change these 5 things, that is Lord's mercy. And to get Lord's mercy only by bhakti. Only by devotion, so by bhakti we can get the Lord's mercy. Only Lord's mercy can change these 5 things. Otherwise, we can't change that. Okay, there are small quiz for our children, those below 15 years old. Any children below 15, please answer this question. You can unmute yourself. What gross body is made of? I just explained that. Can anyone unmute and give the answer?
Earth, air,
Yes.
kidney,
Speak loudly, please.
earth,
Yes.
air,
Yes.
water,
Yes.
ether.
Okay, you spoke ether, water, earth, and 2 more?
Air.
Yeah, okay, 1 more?
Fire.
1 more?
Fire.
Fire.
Fire. Okay, thank you very much. Earth, water, fire, ether. These are 5 elements which make up the gross body. Okay, next question. What soul made of?
Intelligence.
No, the soul.
Sat Ananda.
Yes, correct. Soul is made of Sachit Ananda, made of eternity, Chit knowledge, and Ananda is bliss. Thank you very much. Okay, next question. What is the size of the soul?
10,000 of hair tip.
What is that?
10,000 of hair tip.
Yes, 1/10,000 of the tip of the hair. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let us continue. Okay, one more. There are 5 Garuda words hidden in this table. Can any children? You can annotate, you can highlight. There are 5 Garuda words hidden in this table. Can any one of you can? Okay, thank you. 4 more. Yes, Garuda. Okay. 3 more. Okay. Okay, Garuda. Okay, 2 more. Okay, 1 more. One more. Okay, thank you very much. Please erase. Padmanitra Prabhu, you can erase this, Prabhu, please. Okay, thank you very much. These are the 5 hidden words of Garuda. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, when a person dies, there are 4 auspicious things must be performed. Okay, when a person dies, first thing is that we must perform, we must give holy name. We can chant, we can do kirtan, or we can do japa. This is very important because for Kali Yuga, the holy name is a Yuga Dharma. Okay, the most easiest and sublime way to attain God is by chanting His holy name. So that is why when a person, the first thing you must do bhajana, kirtan, japa. Second thing is that you must recite Bhagavad Gita. Very, very important. Because Lord Shiva says, whoever recites Bhagavad Gita, okay, with faith, okay, whatever his sins perform will be burned away just by reading Bhagavad Gita. This Lord Shiva himself says this. Okay, that is why very important we have to recite Bhagavad Gita. Third thing is that we must offer pinda or mahapasad. Okay, very, very important. We must offer pinda. And the fourth thing is that we must give charity on his name. Okay, these are the 4 things minimum. You can do other things, but minimum you must do 4 things. Okay, when a person dies. Okay. Okay, this picture, there was a man who died in an accident. He died in an accident. And you can see his subtle body is coming out from his gross body. People say this is the soul. This is not a soul. This is subtle body. Because soul you can't see with the naked eyes. So this is subtle body, okay? So subtle body is coming out from his gross body. Okay, let us see some facts about Yamaraj. Okay, Yamaraj is very, very important in our life. He's the one who's going to determine our next life. So let us see some facts about Yamaraj. First thing is that his father's name is Vivaswan, sun god. So he's a son of a sun god, Yamaraj. And his mother's name is Saranya. He is a twin sister of Yamuna Devi. Okay, Ganga, Yamuna, correct? So he's a twin, his twin sister is Yamuna Devi. And his step brother is Shani Deva. Shani, everybody afraid of Shani. Shani is his step brother. And that is that he has a wife named Dumorna, Urmila, Shamala, Vijaya, and Ayo. Ayo, we like to say Ayo, 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 correct? Ayo, Ayo. We like to say that. Ayo is the name of Mrs. Yamaraj, Yamaraj's wife. Okay, so it's very inauspicious to call Ayo actually. You can call Krishna, Rama, Shiva, Muruga, Ganesha, all these auspicious names. You can call. But Ayo is very inauspicious because it's the name of Yamaraj's wife. If you always call Ayo, 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 Yamaraj will see why this person is called my wife. Always calling my wife. So he'll send Yamadutas. He'll send Yamadutas, go and see this person. Why he's calling my wife always? So Yamaduta will come. So it's very, very inauspicious to call Ayo. Okay. And these 5 names, I do not know these 5 names belongs to 5 wives of Yamaraj, or these 5 names belongs to 1 wife of Yamaraj. Because sometimes one person will have different names. So I don't have that information. But I know these are the 5 names mentioned in different like Vishnu Purana, Garuda Purana, they all mentioned. Okay, yeah, Yamaraj has one son. His son's name is Katila. And Yamaraj has a very famous assistant who is called Chitragupta. And Chitragupta is Yamaraj famous assistant. Okay. Okay, there is one movie 30 years ago, very famous movie called Lucky Man. Okay. In that movie, Gaundamani, he acted like a Yamaraj, and Senthil acted like as a Chitragupta. Okay, so please pardon me. It's a comedy. I would like to narrate this in Tamil. Okay, please pardon me. I'm gonna narrate this actually comedy in Tamil. Okay, so Gaundamani in the Yamaraja வருவார் and Senthil இந்த சிற்றகுப்தா வருவார். ஸோ 2 பேரும் இந்த பூலோகத்துக்கு வருவாங்க. ஸோ சித்திரகுப்தா வந்து கிராமத்துக்கு வருவார். கிராமத்துல வந்து பார்க்கும்போது குடிசை செவர்ல பார்ப்பாரு, சாணம் காய வச்சிருப்பாங்க. நீங்க வந்து இந்தியாவுக்கு போனீங்களா, கிராமத்துக்கு போனீங்களா, அங்க இருந்து சாணத்தை வந்து செவர்ல காய்ச்சிருப்பாங்க. ஸோ அப்ப சித்திரகுப்தா பாக்குறாரு, செவர்ல இருந்து சாணம் காயுது. அந்த நேரத்தை ஒருத்தன் வருவான். ஒருத்தன் வந்து கேட்பான், சார் என்ன பாக்குறீங்க சார்னு கேட்பான். இப்ப சித்திரகுப்தர் சொல்லுவாரு, எப்படி இந்த பசு செவரு மேல சாணம் போட்டிருக்கு அப்படின்னு கேட்பாரு. அப்ப அவன் கேட்பான், சார் எந்த ஊர்ல இருந்து வந்திருக்கீங்க சார்னு கேட்பாரு. அப்ப சித்திரகுப்தர் சொல்லுவாரு, நான் வந்து யமலோகம் வந்திருக்கேன். இப்ப அவன் கேட்பான், யமலோக போறதுக்கு என்ன பஸ் ஏறணும்னு கேட்பான். இப்ப சித்திரகுப்தர் சொல்லுவாரு, நீ பஸ் ஏற தேவையில்ல, பஸ் ஒன்னு ஏறணும்னு நீ போயிடலாம். So இதான் in the story of Lucky Man. Sorry, because I have to narrate this comedy in Tamil. Okay, thank you. Okay, in Srimad Bhagavatam, very nicely in the purport, Srila Prabhupada wrote. Can somebody please unmute and read for me, please?
Yamaraj, the great controller of life after death, decides the living and entities, destinies in the next lives. He is surely among the most confidential representatives of the Lord. Such confidential posts are offered to great devotees of the Lord who are as good as his eternal associates in the spiritual sky.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, this one written in the Bhagavatam. So Yamaraj position is not an ordinary position. No anyone can fill out the post of Yamaraj. So it is mentioned, only those who are most confidential associate of the Lord, who are in the level of the Gopas, who are level of the Gopis, can fill out the position of Yamaraj. Yamaraj is a position. Is a position. Anyone can fill out the position of Yamaraj, but only those who are very, very much elevated in the spiritual life, in the level of Gopas and Gopis, personal associates of the Lord, can fill out the position of Yamaraj. This is mentioned in the purport of Bhagavatam. Once a man was having coffee in early morning. While he was having coffee, all of a sudden Yamaraj came and sat beside him. So Yamaraj told him, let's go. I came to take you. Let's go. And the man said, Swamiji, how come I can follow you? You know, I just got my first child, just was born last month. And I just got promotion, and I just bought a house, and I'm paying the loan, and I just changed my car, and I'm still paying the loan. I got so much commitment. How can I can follow you, Swamiji? The man said. And Yamaraj took a paper from his pocket and showed the man, look, there are 40 people I have to take today. Today alone I have to take 40 people, and your name is the first name in the list of the 40 people. That's why I came early morning to take you. That's what Lord Yamaraj answered. And the man said, it's okay, Swamiji, since you came to take me, never mind, at least you come and take a cup of coffee with me before we go. So he ordered a cup of coffee for Yamaraj. And both of them were enjoying the coffee. At one point, Yamaraj turned and looked the other side. And that moment, the man took a sleeping pill and put into the coffee of Yamaraj. And after drinking that, Yamaraj fell asleep. So the man, when Yamaraj was sleeping, the man took the paper from the pocket of Yamaraj. So what he did, he erased his name, the first name, he erased his name, and he transferred his name to the 40th name. The 40th name he took and he put it in the first position. And he transferred his name to the 40th name. And after 10 minutes, Yamaraj woke up. And Yamraj told the man, actually you are a very nice man, you know. You even bought me a coffee. So for that good gesture, today I'm going to start from 40th. Yamraj said, for that I'm going to start from 40th. So the moral of the story is that nobody can kid Yamaraj. When he comes and knocks our door, time's up. We have to go. Not any reason can persuade, can change the mind of Yamaraj. So when Yamaraj come knocking our door, it's time to go. Okay? Because death waits for no one. It waits for no one. Okay? When death comes, we have to go. Not even a second can be delayed. Okay? Not even a second can be, not even a moment can be delayed. So we have to understand that death waits for no one. Can somebody please read this for me in Srimad Bhagavatam, a very wonderful translation. Please read for me, please, someone.
The king sitteth in Yamaraja, the very powerful son of the sun god. He resides in Pitraloka with his personal assistants, and while abiding the rules and regulations set down by the Supreme Lord, has his agents, the Yamadutas, bring all the sinful men to him immediately upon their death. After bringing them within his jurisdiction, he properly judges them according to their specific sinful activities and sends them to one of the many hellish planets for suitable punishments.
So this mention is in Bhagavatam. Okay, Yamaraj. What is the duty of Yamaraj? Okay, a quiz for Prabhus and Mati childrens. You can please avoid answering these questions are open to the Prabhus, to the adults. Anyone can give answer, please. Where the soul is located in our body? That is the question. Anyone please can answer.
Our heart.
Prabhu, at the bottom of the heart.
Yes, thank you very much. Bottom part of the heart. Yes. Next question. What are the 4 important tasks must be performed upon one's death?
Bhajan, Kirtan, chanting.
Let the adults answer.
You have to recite Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
Give charity.
Yes.
Mahaprasadam.
Mahapusha Pindam, okay.
Recite Bhagavad Gita.
The first one, yes.
Chant holy names.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, chant holy name, Bhagavad Gita, recite Yohapinda Mahapusha and give charity or another. These are 4 things you must perform upon one death, okay? Okay, next question. Who will become Yamadutas? Okay, very, very important, okay? Anyone who are interested to apply for this position, you can do this. Who will become Yamadutas? Those who have passed several years in the dreadful hell and have no descendants to offer gifts of Pinda in their favor become messengers of Yama. Garuda Purana mentioned that. Okay, that is why very important for you to teach your children that upon your death they must perform, they must offer Pinda, they must do the ceremony, all this must be done If they don't do, the sinful soul, upon coming up from the hell, when he has no one to offer pinda, all this ceremony, everything, they will become Yamaduta in their next life. Okay, it's very, very important. Okay, all these, what I mentioned in the scripture, it is not mythology, okay? It has to be performed. Otherwise, you will become Yamaduta in your next life. Okay, this is in Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 26 and text 5. The great sage Sukadeva Goswami answered, all the hellish planets are situated in the intermediate space between the three worlds and Garbhodaka ocean. They lie on the southern side of the universe beneath Bhumandala and slightly above the water of Garbhodaka ocean. Okay. Below Earth, below Bhumandala, there are 7 lower planetary systems. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. Okay? These are 7 lower planetary systems where we have demons, Rakshasas, jinns, all those living entity resides. And below that, there is hell. That's where hell is located, below Pataloka. There's a kingdom of Yamaraja and the hellish planet. Okay? The lowest among our planetary system is Pataloka, and below that is Garbhodaka Ocean. That is where Lord Vishnu, Garbhodaka Vishnu resides. And in between Garbhodaka Ocean and Padaloka, there is where Yamaloka and the hellish planet. Okay, so this is what mentioned in Bhagavatam. Okay, where hellish planet is between Padaloka and the Garbhodaka Ocean. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 26 and verse number 37, my dear king, Parikshit, in the province of Yamaraj, there are hundreds and thousands of hellish planets. How many hellish planets? There are thousands, hundreds and thousands of hellish planets. The impious people I have mentioned, and also those I have not mentioned, must all enter these various planets according to the degree of their impiety. Those who are pious, however, enter other planetary systems, namely the planets of the demigods. Nevertheless, both the pious and impious are again brought to earth after the results of their pious or impious acts are exhausted. Okay, those sinful souls will enter hell, but those who are pious souls, they will go to heavenly planet. It is mentioned. Okay, those sinful souls will go to hell, but the pious souls will enter heavenly planet. But both souls, once they finish the papa and punya, they will take birth again on the earth. Okay, even you went to Swargaloka, to heavenly planets, or you went to hell. Once your papa and punya finish, your merit finish, you have to come down again on earth and take birth on earth, because both are temporary. Okay, but this is mentioned in Bhagavatam. There are hells, O bird. O bird means Garuda. Krishna tells Garuda, O Garuda, there are 8,400,000, and means of which are 21 most dreadful of the dreadful. So how many hellish planets? 8,400,000 hellish planets. Can you imagine? 8,400,000. And out of that, 21 are the most dreadful. All the hellish planets are dreadful, but within that, there are 21 most dreadful within the 8,400,000. Okay, this is mentioned in the Garuda Purana. So when a person dies, only 3 things follow him. Okay, his family don't follow him, neither his house, his money, his job, his position, nothing will follow him. Only 3 things, that is punya, that is saints, and third is bhakti. Only these 3 will follow a person once he has died. Okay, so that is why, very important, when we live in this material world, yes, we need house, we need all this. We need that to live in this material world. But these are not all in all. These are not all in all. Because all these will never follow us after we die. Only this string will follow us. Punya, sins and bhakti. Of course, we don't do sin because you do sins. Because when you do punya, you go to heaven. If you do sins, you go to hell. But if you do bhakti to the Lord, you go back to Vaikuntha Loka, the spiritual world. This is mentioned in Bhagavatam. That is why at least you must do punya, don't do sin in our life. The best to perform bhakti because we can go back home to Vaikuntha Loka, to a spiritual eternal world, back home, back to God. Because when we are going to Vaikuntha Loka, Vishnudutta will come. They will come in an airplane and take us back to the spiritual world. We are meant to go back home to the spiritual world. This is the description of our universe. Okay? This is our description. And we are living Earth. Is at the seventh planetary system. This is called Guloka. This is where Earth is. Above Earth, there are Bhuvar Loka. Bhuvar Loka is the planet of the ghosts. And above that is Swarga Loka. Swarga Loka is a heaven. Chorga. Swarga Loka. That's where the Devas, Indra, all live. And above that is Mahaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. And Satyaloka is the highest planetary system within our material world, and Lord Brahma resides there. And above that, there is spiritual world, Vaikuntha Loka. And below earth, there are Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala Loka below us. Okay? So this is a description of our 14 planetary system in our universe. Okay, question for Prabhus and Mataji. What are the three assets the soul will bring together upon death? Please unmute and answer.
Punya
Bhakti,
and Bhakti.
and sins.
Yes, thank you very much. Punya, sins, and bhakti. These are three things will come with us upon death. Okay, next question. What are the 5 features ought to be determined at the time of birth according to Garuda Purana? Anyone?
Character.
Character.
Activities, education, character, and circumstance of death.
Thank you very much. Lifespan, happiness, distress, character, education, and circumstance of death. These 5 things ought to be determined at the time of birth according to Garuda Purana. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, 1 hour passed. Okay, that's the end of our day 1 class. Thank you very much. And tomorrow we'll continue with our day, second day. Please, I hope all the devotees can join me for the second day class. Okay. And next week, we have a question and answer sessions. Anyone who have questions, please type in the chat box, and we'll try to answer the question. We are unable to answer all the questions. We can carry back the questions tomorrow. Okay. And before that, I just want to share. Tomorrow we'll continue with the second day of this Garuda Purana class. Okay, please join me tomorrow, Wednesday, for the second day, 8:30 p.m. for the second day class of Journey of the Soul. After that, from Garuda Purana. Okay, yeah, we're going to share this. Okay, so we're gonna, before the question answer session, we're gonna have Padmanitra Prabhu. He's gonna share about the Gita Gyan. Okay, just a few minutes. He will share the Gita Gyan program. And after we're gonna have a few question answered today. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Yaduraj. So now I'll call Grace Sarvani Lakshmipriya because she is actually one of the teacher. She's been teaching the Gita student from level 1, batch 1, and she's actually mostly she teach to all the youths actually. So I will let her to present today's Gita promotion for. Sarvani, it's yours.
So, Hare Krishna. Thank you to Yaduraj Prabhu for a very enlightening class, and thank you, Padmanita Prabhu. So, we would like to take this opportunity to do a little promo on the Gita Gyan course. So, this is a special course to understand the Bhagavad Gita in 18 days. So, it's like a shortcut course actually. So, we're going to move to our 4th batch. The past 3 batches have been very, very successful, and we have got like thousands of participants, in fact, even from foreign countries as well. And so we are going forward with the 4th batch right now. And many of you probably have already participated from the past previous 3 batches. So please do encourage others to join in this course. Your family, your friends, your loved ones, anyone can join this course. This course is available in English, Tamil, and Telugu. The 4th batch will start from 26 July to 14 August, 1 hour daily via Zoom. And this course is free of charge, so there's no charges. The registration is still ongoing, and it will be closing on 18th of July. So this 4th batch is also going to be the start for Gita Gyan teenagers. Many have given us feedback that it's such a nice course. We would like to have our children, teenagers to also participate, because we have this course for Gita Gyan for juniors, children, and then we also have for adults, but we did not have any Gita Gyan course for the teenagers. So this time we're coming up with a new syllabus, which is more interactive and more fun for the teenagers to join in. So before 13 years old till 18 years old, we'll have a separate syllabus for them. So for those teenagers, they can also register in this batch, and we will distribute them accordingly to the Gita Gyan teenagers teachers. So before proceeding further, I'll show you all the small short promo video. So these are some of the few feedbacks and reviews we got from the participants, like from Miss Premala Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, saying this from bottom of my heart. As a learner, I found 3 things in you: mentor, bhakti towards Lord Krishna, passionate in spiritual field, and dedication in teaching us. I'm glad and no regrets in attending this 18-day session. Thanks again. And from Mr. Krishna Murthy Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Namaskaram Prabhu. From today onwards, I will fix some time to read Bhagavad Gita daily. I also will encourage all my children and grandchildren to enroll Bhagavad Gita classes for them to learn Hinduism through Bhagavad Gita. Sala Tandivatalu Prabhu. I hope I read it right. Miss Kavita Mataji from Miss Kavita Venugapal Mataji. Do Bhakti Yoga and get moksha. So these feedbacks are not only from participants, even we have many from foreign countries. We have even many philosophers as well, many actors who have read the Bhagavad Gita and have gained so much of enlightenment through the Bhagavad Gita. And especially during this time of pandemic, I think it's a very good opportunity for us to come out of our depression or any anxiety that you have. You can get some relief through this Bhagavad Gita course. So that's all for me today. Hope many of you will register to this course. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Sarvani Mataji. And the link of this registration, we'll put it in the Zoom chat. And now we'll go with this question and answer. So Yaduraj, are you ready for the question?
Yes, bro.
Okay, bro. So here, bro, there is 5 questions that I received from the Zoom chat. Then we will take some questions from Zoom participants as well. So the first question, Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have a question. I have heard from other Krishna devotees saying that Garuda Purana cannot be read as when we like. They said that Garuda Purana should only read during Amavasya. How true is this? And if it's true, why it's so? Why can't we read Garuda Purana book as how we read other spiritual books? Thank you, Prabhu. It's from Usha Mathaji.
Hare Krishna, okay, very nice question. Thank you to Mataji, Usha Mataji for the question. So actually, I never read anywhere or heard in my 27 years of spiritual life that you can't read Garuda Purana at home, or you can only read Ramasya Day. So I never read that, and I never seen anywhere mentioned. So whoever said that we should ask the person where it is mentioned that we can't read Garuda Purana. Okay. So actually, of course, if you ask me, my advice is that, of course, I don't recommend people to read Garuda Purana. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita can take you back home to spiritual world. Srimad Bhagavatam can take you back to spiritual world. Okay. So if you ask me, better read the two books. It can take us back to spiritual world. The reason why I read Garuda Purana because for preaching purpose, so that I can share with people who, if they ask question related to this death to the soul, so that I'll be able to answer them. So for that reason, I've read this Garuda Purana, and another reason for me to prepare this PowerPoint presentation. So if you ask me, I never read anywhere that you can't read Garuda Purana. Garuda Purana is one of the 6 Purana within Sattvic Purana category. Okay, it is one of the 6 Sattvic Purana category. Okay, and it is mentioned in the 3rd most important Purana after Srimad Bhagavatam and Vishnu Purana. So how come it is, if it is in the Sattvic category, how come you can say that you can't read this Garuda Purana? Of course, if you ask me, like I said, you can read, but it is, you'll cause your mind to spin. There's too many things for you to digest, and so I recommend you to read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, okay? But you can read Garuda Purana. I never read that you can't read Garuda Purana, and you can only read Namavasha. I think that's a speculation. Okay, Prabhu.
Thanks, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, the next question number 2 and 3, a continuation question. So the first question is, who is Supreme, Vishnu or Krishna? Sorry, who is Supreme, Vishnu or Krishna? They are both the same. Krishna is the avatar of Vishnu. So then there was continuation question was, then why is there so much argument between the Vaishnavas and the Hare Krishna's devotee between who is the Supreme and who is the Supreme between Vishnu and Shiva?
This question is thousands years old questions. They've been for years, thousands of years, human being fighting, So who's supreme? So these questions actually I won't be able to answer just 5-10 minutes actually. So if you ask me, there's no difference between Krishna and Vishnu, first of all. Okay, you can use Krishna and sometimes use Vishnu. So Prabhupada says actually there's no difference between Krishna and Vishnu. And the other thing is that Vishnu and Shiva. So actually it is mentioned that Vishnu and Shiva, there's no problem between them. Only a problem between the devotees of Vishnu and Shiva. In both Vishnu and Shiva, they are living amicably. They have a very wonderful friendship. You read Bhagavatam, you can see wonderful friendship between Shiva and Vishnu. Okay, and even Vishnu says that, Krishna says that Lord Shiva is even dearer than his own life. Krishna says that. And Shiva is even dearer than his own life. And okay, it is mentioned. So actually, if you decided to worship Vishnu, carry on, develop your bhakti. And if you decided to worship Lord Shiva, it's fine, develop bhakti on Lord Shiva. Both can bring you to the ultimate goal. That is my realization. Okay, Prabhu. We can go to the next question.
Thanks, Prabhu. So next, 4th question. Why are some souls still present among us? And why can't some people communicate and see them? Why can some people communicate and see them?
So actually, in our scripture, it is mentioned that there are people, because these are the souls, they are in a subtle form. Remember just now I mentioned that gross body, and at the time of death, the subtle body and the soul will come out from the gross body. So these are the soul in the subtle body, and they are usually called ghosts. They call ghosts because they remain within us in this material, this world. Okay, basically they haven't got another body, so they remain in subtle form. They haven't got another gross body, so will remain in a subtle form, and they are called ghosts. So that is why, because they are in this world, because they haven't got another gross body. Okay, and why we can't communicate? Of course, we can't communicate because we have this gross body. Okay, they have they have subtle body, so you can't communicate with them, subtle body and gross body. But sometimes some people who have learned the skill, they can communicate with these subtle bodies, with these ghosts. There are people who can communicate because they have learned the skill, they have got the knowledge, and they have the power to communicate. So there are people who can communicate with these subtle bodies actually. Okay. Of course, we can't because we don't have the knowledge, or we don't have the ability. There are people who have the ability to communicate with ghosts of this subtle body. Okay, Prabhu. Next question.
Okay. Question number fifth
Can
question
I
is
just ask a question regarding that same question earlier? Can I ask a question, Prabhu, about some who can communicate? They said that in Vedic astrology that those who are having very strong K2 in their Vedic astrology chart can actually be able to see these goals and all that because of their K2 very strong in their chart. So is that true, Prabhu?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. What I said that there is based on previous karma, you can bring a certain ability in this life. Okay, there's a certain ability. So once I asked this question to Banu Maharaj, why sometimes we can see ghosts? Okay, sometimes we can see ghosts. There are people who have seen ghosts sometimes, but generally we can't see ghosts because ghosts in subtle form. We can't see ghosts with the material body, material eyes. We can't see, but sometimes we can see. And so I asked Banu Maharaj the question, why sometimes we can see? So the answer given by Banu Maharaj was that because sometimes we can elevate our consciousness. We can elevate our consciousness to the subtle realm. Subtle realm. So we are able to see certain things in a subtle form. So Maharaj, we can elevate. That is what yogis do. Yogis, they elevate the consciousness from material platform, to spiritual platform. They can transgress. They can elevate. Same thing. So we have the power. We can elevate to subtle realm. We can sometimes. So automatically, sometimes we can elevate. We are able to see subtle forms, such as ghosts. And then we come back to the material realm. We are unable to see. So that was the answer given by Banu Maharaj. So actually, some people they can elevate the consciousness. They are able to see subtle form, but generally we are unable to see. Okay, that was the answer given. Okay, Sarvani.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
What's the next question, Prabhu?
Okay, Prabhu, next question is Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dada Pranam. My question is, when we doing Shraddha, why we are only offering pindas for 3 generations? Father, grandfather, great-grandfather. What is the basis for these 3 generations from Malaysian Satyarajan Prabhu?
So actually, I never came across during my discussion, also while I'm reading, I never came across that pinda can be only done for 3 generations. So I'm not sure where he got this information. I'd like to see is from our bona fide scripture. It is mentioned that 3 generations. So, we have read from Srimad Bhagavatam that when one person go back to spiritual world, he can bring 14 generation with him. Okay? 7 generation before and 7 generation after. we have read that 14 generations we can elevate the spiritual world. So here, I don't know why it is mentioned 3 generations. Okay, even when we do Malaya and Adi Amavasa, Malaya Amavasa, so we are able to help many generations. So, but I never read that particularly 3 generations only can be helped. So I'm not sure where this information was derived. So I went to see which scripture.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna Prabhu.
Actually, my question is like this, Prabhu. Whenever we are doing the yearly Shraddha, that means Varshabdi, we only tell the names of father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. That's all. So, of course, during the Mahalya Amavasya, we will tell all the all the relatives who are passed away. But I'm only talking about the Varshabdi. That means every year on the Tithi of fathers passing away, that day we will only tell the 3 names. That is the father's name, then the great grandfather and the great grandfather. That was my question. So these 3 generations, is that, I know that it is not enough, because when a devotee is there, 7 generations in the past and 7 generations next will be already delivered. But the question here is, why we only talk about the 3 names? That was my question, Prabhu.
That is my question back to you. Where you have read that only 3 generations should be recited during Shraddha? Where you read that in any scripture? There are only 3 generations you can recite during Shraddha. So I never read that. So that is why I'm unable to answer your question, because I never read that only 3 generation names must be recited at Shraddha occasion. So I'm not sure, Prabhu. So
okay, Prabhu. Sure.
Maybe,
Understood.
So maybe you can find out. I also can find out. But as far as I know that during the Shraddha, if they remains in the subtle form or whatever hellish, you can perform the Shraddha for them if you remember Tithi. That is what I understood. So
that one we normally do during the Mahalya Amavasya, but during the father's Tithi every year, we only tell the 3 names. That is why I asked. Okay, Prabhu, I will also check it out.
Okay, I also can check. Anyway,
Thanks,
you, Prabhu, for the question.
Thanks, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
What's the next
Yaduraj
question?
Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Mataji.
Yaduraj Prabhu. Prabhu, when my mom's Shraddha ceremony recently, actually, Parabram Prabhu actually asked us to try to get as many of our descendants, her mother, her father, grandfather, great-grandfather, even more above than that, if we can get, it'll be good, he said. So that's according to Parabram Prabhu. There's no specificity for 3 generations.
Yeah, it's not. I've also never read that 3 generations. So, okay, thank you, Sarvani. What's the next question, Parpanaitra Prabhu?
Okay, bro. Next question is, are there such thing as passing away during good, bad time or days? From Ashwin.
Definitely. Okay. It is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita also. Krishna spoke that whoever passes away in the dark, okay, so it can will go to will go to moon or something. I can't remember, but Krishna explained that in Bhagavad Gita. If there are good time, bad time, it's true. Yeah, his questions are there. Definitely, okay. If the soul, if they depart during good time of the day, definitely there'll be a good consequences for him. And if he departs in a bad time of the day, there'll be negative consequences. It's there. Even Bhishma in Mahabharata, he waited for the good time to depart, because Bhishma has that power to leave the body at whatever time he desire. That is a boon he got. So, and at the end, when the time comes, he took darshan of Krishna and left the body. So definitely, even yogis, they will choose the time, good time to depart. Even yogis do that. So definitely the question is that there is a consequences. If you leave at a good time or bad time, there are consequences. It is mentioned there. And you will leave on Ekadasi day, on on auspicious day, all these you have a very good consequences. Okay, it is mentioned in the scripture. So the answer is yes, Prabhu. According to the time and good time or bad time will decide your consequence where your soul gonna go. Yeah, it influences. Yes.
Thanks, bro. So, last question. There are pranams. When soul leaves the body, the mind, intelligence, and ego goes. Kindly explains. Mulakanam Das Prabhu.
So, Hare Krishna Prabhu. So, this question actually, at the time of death, we know that the soul and the subtle body will leave the gross body. Okay, we know the subtle body is made of mind, intelligence, false ego. Okay, it comes together with the soul. Okay, and this subtle body, the mind, intelligence, false ego, goes together with the soul. If the soul goes to hell, it goes together. So this subtle body is the one going to experience all the pain in the hellish planet, not the soul. Soul doesn't experience anything. All the pain, all the suffering in the hellish planet are experienced by the subtle body, the mind, intelligence, false ego. Okay? So wherever and the next life, when the soul takes the next life, the subtle body also comes together with the soul. Okay, the subtle body comes and enter the next life. The subtle body only will leave the soul at a time of liberation, when the soul goes back to the spiritual world. It is mentioned that the soul, the subtle body, only will get separated from the soul when the soul attains moksha, mukti. As long as the soul in the material world, the subtle body will remain with the soul. Okay, billions of birth will remain with the soul. Okay, the only time when the subtle body will get separated from the spirit soul, when the soul attains moksha, when the soul goes back to the spiritual world, that's where the subtle body will remain, will dissolve, and the pure spirit soul will go back home to spiritual world. So that is what I've read it from Bhagavatam, Prabhu. Hope I answered the question.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thanks, Mulakana Prabhu. Thanks, Yaduraj Prabhu. Can we take the last question?
Okay, bro, last question.
Okay, yeah, this question from Ram Prabhu. Kindly inform which chapter in Bhagavad Gita does it mention on the good, bad time, days with the regards of passing away? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I think you're missing chapter 8. You can read chapter 8. I think Attaining the Supreme, that's the title, chapter 8. And Sarvani can correct me because she's a guru. I think chapter 8 is Attaining the Supreme. Correct?
Text 24. Yeah, 824.
Yeah. Okay, that is where in that chapter it is mentioned. Krishna explained that you leave the body at dark 6 months. Details are there. I'm not able to explain. You can read the chapter 8. Krishna explained that. Good time and bad time.
Well, okay. I have one question, Prabhu. Last question.
Yes.
So just now in the Srimad Bhagavatam, you have mentioned that Yamaraja stays in Prituloka. Yeah. So that means we understand that Yamaloka and Prituloka is actually the same loka?
Yes. So it mentioned that Prabhupada says that Yamaraja lives in Pitraloka. So that means Yamaloka is in Pitraloka.
That means the Yamadutas is also in Prituloka.
Yeah, they live, it is mentioned the Yamadutas, they have family like us in Yamaloka. They have children, they have wives, they have families. So they work as Yamadutas. So they have families. So they live in Yamaloka altogether with Chitragupta. And you read Garuda Purana, now you have fever, personification fever, personification diarrhea, personification for headache, all lives in Yamaloka together with Chitragupta. So the answer yes, Yamaloka is situated in Pitraloka, based on what Prabhupada mentioned in Bhagavatam.
Yeah, true. Thanks for that. Thanks, Arvani, for the question. True. Sorry, pose a last question because and no more question after this. Just
after
last
this,
question.
we can have the question tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah. So this question from Prabhu Fu, Dandat Prabhu. One who become Yamaduta, can Yamaduta be delivered to? Sorry, last question.
What is it? Why we become Yamadutas?
Yeah, one who become Yamaduta, can Yamaduta
Sorry,
be
Prabhu, the first, what is the why?
one who become Yamaduta, can Yamaduta be delivered to?
Definitely, Prabhu, definitely. Because it is mentioned Garuda Purana, being born is a Yamaduta is a punishment for the soul, for those sinful soul who suffered in the hell, and after that the children saw their relative never perform any pinda or religious ceremony, and all this, they never perform. And these are the souls born as Yamadutas. And for a certain period, according to their karma, they'll be born as Yamaduta for a certain period, and after that they'll take birth again. Maybe as an animal, and slowly they can elevate to the position of human. So, even Yamadutas can be delivered, and the life of Yamadutas only certain period according to their karma. And after that they can take different birth.
Thanks, bro. So, yeah, thank you, bro. So we'll meet again tomorrow at the same timing, 8:30, and then we'll take more questions tomorrow, and then on the last day. So
okay, tomorrow we'll be talking a lot of practical and relevant things. What to do upon that, pinda offering, not so much detail. How the soul will go to Yamaloka. So many things we'll